Hello everybody, there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. In this video and by the end of this tutorial we will be able to create load balancer using Nginx Docker with Node.js. By the end of this tutorial we will be able to create load balancer like this. Okay, after refreshing page multiple times, the incoming request will be redirected and allocated to one of these three running server. This is the server 1, this is server 2 running on port 4002, server 3 running on port 4003. Okay, now let's start. We will use Nginx as a load balancer. What is Nginx? Nginx is open source software for web serving, reverse proxying, caching, load balancing, media streaming, and more. It started as a web server designed for maximizing the performance and also stability. In this article, we will learn how to use Nginx as a load balancer for handling multiple requests and managing the incoming traffic also between Node.js servers. This is the load balancer. After multiple refresh, the incoming request allocated and redirected to one of this running server. Okay, what load balancing? Load balancing is an approach to distribute and allocate the traffic to multiple application servers. Why load balancing? Why? By the time your applications become famous and the number of users using this application increased also, so the traffic and the incoming request will be increased. In this case, we need to create a load balancer for this application which handling the incoming request and the traffic to increase the performance and reduce the response time, the delay, and achieve higher availability. Okay, so the load balancer will stay between the client and the application server and decides on which server this request should go. This decision based on one of these algorithms. Round robin, this is the default method, hash, IP hash, list connection, and list type. We will discuss these methods and algorithms, but after the implementation part. Okay, implementation part. We will start in the implementation part. We will create a simple HTTP server using Node.js Express. Okay, and we will create an image for this application using Docker. After creating this image, we will run three server using Docker containers of this application. This is the server 1, server 2, server 3. Okay, and we will build an image for Nginx as a load balancer with load balancing configuration. It will be running on port 4000. We will run Nginx image and testing the incoming request using the browser. So this is the incoming request. Through the load balancing and load balancer, the request will redirect to one of these servers. As you can see, after refresh, this is the incoming request. It will be redirected to one of these three servers. Okay, good. What is the requirement? Make sure that Docker is installed on your machine. Let's check Docker. Yes, it's installed. If not installed in your machine, you can visit this official website and download install Docker according to your operating system. Okay, good. Now let's start from the scratch. first thing, I will stop all containers running on my machine and delete these containers to start from scratch with you. Docker bs-all. So we'll stop Docker, stop 7541, this is the first one, be18, b7, okay, 10, and 1e a2, okay. After stopping these containers, we will delete these containers also from my machine, as I mentioned, to start from scratch. Okay, good. Docker remove, this is the first, remove this containers. Okay, very good. Docker ps-all, good. And there is projects that I have created, I will remove also to start from scratch. cd remove -rf load balancer, good, clear. Now we will create a new project called load balancer, and inside this project we will run the following command npm init to initiate a Node.js project. Okay, and after that we will install Express package by running this command npm install express, and we will create a new file app.js. Inside app.js we will create HTTP server. Okay, let's do this. Make dir load balancer, okay, cd load balancer, clear. Let's open this project using Visual Studio Code. Okay, good. Why is this one open? This is all done. Okay, now we will initiate, sorry, we will initiate npm project, npm install, init, package name, load balancer, version, description. This is load balance training project. Okay, app.js. Actually, if we write this command npm init -y, it will generate package.json automatically, but it's okay, no problem. Okay, good. This is the package.json. Now we will install Express to create HTTP server. After installing Express, we will create a new file called app.js, and inside this file we will create our HTTP server. Touch app.js, and inside app.js const express equal require express, okay, const app equal express, const port equal process dot env dot port, and if this environment variable not exist, we will use 4000 as a default port for us. And constant server, this is a server name, process dot env dot server. If not exist, the default will be gateway. This is the server name. Its environment variable, we will pass this variable through the command, the containers command. Okay, to identify this is server 1, this is server 2, this is server 3 as I identify for us. Okay, just naming the server we will creating using Docker containers. Okay, now listen. Okay, after listen, before listen, we will create our endpoint under slash. Okay, request response next. Now return response dot send. Sorry, use backtick header. This request will redirect to server and server name. Okay, sorry, app.listen export callback function console.log server is running. Okay, good. Let's test this by running node app.js command. Yes, server gateway, it's already running here. We have already deleted these containers, so it's not working. Okay, as I mentioned, this is the server name. Once we will create Docker containers, once we will run our application on this 3 servers, server 1 and server 2 and server 3, we will pass the server name and server number through the running command as environment variable. It appears as a gateway as a default because we didn't pass this variable yet, and also this is the default name. Okay, after creating HTTP request, we will create Docker file to create Docker image for this HTTP server. Now we will create, let's stop this application, and we will create Docker file. Inside this file we will add this configuration. This is the node, the base image, and we will create a new directory inside this container. It's a new directory called the app, and we will copy package.json file from here to the Docker container under /app. After that we will run the command npm install. Then after installing the packages that exist here, the development packages, the dependency, we will run this command node app.js and exposing the running port 4000. Okay, now let's create our image by running this command docker build -t. This is tag, and this is the tag name. You can write any tag name, server-app, and this is the version 1.0.0. Okay, So docker build dash t tag server dash app dot. Okay, let's check this image by running this command docker images. As you can see, it's created from 7 seconds ago. Okay, this is the server app image. Cool. Okay, now we will create our load balancer using Nginx. We will create a new directory called the gateway, and inside this directory we will create a configuration file for Nginx and a docker file for creating Nginx image. Okay, make dir and gateway cd gateway touch nginx.config touch docker file. Yes, this is the docker file and Nginx configuration. Now in Nginx configuration we will copy this configuration and put here. Okay, this is the first server running on port 4001, second server, third server, and this is the method list connection. This is the algorithm that we will use in load balancing. Okay, this IP is the container IP. If you run the command docker inspect and the container ID, you will collect this ID. So this is the first server, this is the second one, this is the third one. Okay, after creating Nginx configuration, we will create docker file to build Nginx image. Yes, this is the docker. No, this is the docker file. Sorry, come again. Yes, sorry. Yes, this is the base image for Nginx, and after pulling this image we will delete the default configuration for this image and copy this configuration load balancing configuration file. We will copy it as a default configuration, as a new configuration for the new image. Now we will build a new image for the gateway under tag gateway version 1.0.0. You can change this name, no problem in that. Okay, let's create Nginx image now. Yes, now it's created. Let's check docker images. Yes, this is the first one we have already created, and this is the gateway. Okay, good. Now, yes, we will run and test what we have already developed. Okay, we will create 3 containers as the 3 instances for our HTTP server that we have created. The first server will be running on port 4001, second one on 2, third one on 3. Okay, and this is the environment variable that we have mentioned before, server, and its value 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is the server name that we have mentioned here. This is the environment variable. Okay, we have already passed this variable through this command. Okay, so this command will create the first server running on port 4001 and its name server 01, and the server environment variable we will pass will be 1. Okay, based on the image that we the HTTP image HTTP server image that we have created under name server dash app, it's tag 1.0.0. Copy this command and create the first container, first server. Okay, this is the first server. Second server will be server 2, and its name server dash 2, running on port 4002. Third server will be, this is 34003. Okay, very good. Now, as you can see, this is the first server, server 1, not gateway. This is server 2, this is server 3. Now we have 3 servers now running now. Okay, after that we will run Nginx container as a load balancer, docker container run. It will be run on port 4000. Okay, under tag gateway. This is the image that we have created, image name and image tag. Okay, get this command, copy this command, and run container for load balancer. Now this load balancer running on 4000. This is the first refresh. As you can see, this request will redirect to server 1. This is server 1. After second refresh, this request will be redirected to server 2. After third refresh, this request will redirect to server 3. As you can see, this is multiple refresh. The incoming request will redirect to and allocated to one of this server. And this is the idea of load balancing: managing the incoming request, controlling the traffic, and increasing the performance to increase the high availability of our application and reduce the response time, reduce the delay. Okay. Now let's discuss Nginx load balancing methods or algorithm. The default one and the first one is round robin. This method used by default. Okay, no directive added here, like hash or IP hash or list connection, because it's a default one. In this method, the requests are distributed across servers with server weights. Okay, based on the server weight. Okay, the second algorithm or the second method, Nginx calculates a hash that is based on a combination of text and an Nginx variables and assign it to one of the servers. The incoming request matching this hash will go to the specific server and redirect to the specific server. The third one is IP hash. This method is the only available for HTTP. In this method, okay, the hash is calculated based on the IP address of the client. These methods make sure the multiple requests coming from the same client redirect or allocated to the same server. So this method required for socket and session based application. The third method or third algorithm, least connection. A request is sent to the server with least number of active connection. The last one is least time. In this method, Nginx calculates, okay, and assign values to each server by using the current number of active connection and weighted average response time for past request, and send the incoming request to the server with the lowest value. Okay, which load balancing method we will use? It's based on the nature of your application and also the traffic pattern. You can decide and select one of these methods based on your application, based on your traffic. You can select one of this method. Okay, and thanks. Don't forget like and subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.